what it means to be an American. America is freedom, and freedom is special and rare.
We, the people of this great nation.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
We, the people.
We, the people
of this great nation.
of this great nation.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. Today is a sad day. It's a sad day because they certified Michigan. They did certify Michigan, which is in a way a good thing for Donald Trump because in doing the certification, they can now go on and do an audit. That being said, I just read the latest late breaking news. They are beginning the process of actually transitioning, which means they're going to get intel of everything that's going on. So we may be on the path of a Biden presidency. As hard as it is for a lot of people to accept, especially myself, who fought for Donald Trump, who was invited to his original inauguration. I'm looking at the invitations right here, right in front of me. It's a sad moment in time. We've moved forward so much as a country. We had an America First policy, and now we're going to have a China, Europe, corporate interests, big tech first policy. As we can see by his choices, Biden has definitely backstabbed the progressive movement. He didn't give Elizabeth Warren any position. Bernie Sanders has nothing. And I don't think he's going to give them anything. He's putting back the same people who are big corp, who are ex-lobbyists. And you want me to tell you something, for those of you that it's hard to cope with this fact. Remember something. Remember that this is a movement that will never die. The Donald Trump movement will live on. We're patriots. We're Americans. We dealt with 8 years of Obama's lousy, horrible presidency. We can handle Joe Biden for a year, Kamala for 3, and then we go out there and we vote our asses off and make sure that we get them the hell out of there. It's a sad moment in time because I'm almost accepting defeat, even though there's still the Sidney Powell allegations and still court motions that they're going to file in court. But at this point, you've got to at least prepare yourself for a Biden presidency. It seems like it's inevitable. It seems like they manipulated the system perfectly. They did everything they had to do to cheat this election, and they've done a hell of a job with it. And that's the bottom line. I mean, they used COVID-19 to their advantage. They mailed out a bunch of ballots. Georgia just said right now that there's no way they can audit signatures. So now, basically, Georgia was cheated, and we'll never know the truth. The balance of our democracy land is literally in the balance right now. Georgia's key to everything. Those two senators right there in the balance of power. And it's a sad moment in history because we lost the Ronald Reagan of our time. We lost a president that put America first, no matter where you came from, what color skin you were. He put American workers first. And he was cheated. And I'm never going to have that doubt in my mind that he was cheated. Everything was against him. He fought a good fight. He fought against every single big interest. And inevitably, they defeated him. It's sad to say, I'm still hopeful. Part of me still has that little itsy bitsy hope that he can overcome this, but it's not looking that way. It's looking more like they robbed us. They robbed our democracy. They robbed us of our vote. And but always remember that you were on the right side of history. Don't feel bad. They will get what they deserve. Those who voted for Joe Biden. Those who had good money in stock markets, because that's about 100 million people who have their money in stocks. As much as people keep saying that the stock market doesn't matter. Oh, he talks about the stock market like it matters. Well, everybody who has a retirement plan, who has any pension, who has anything, their money's in the stocks. So good luck to them. The violence in the streets is not going to stop with Joe Biden. China's going to get stronger. Iran's going to bully us. And NATO's going to be a disaster. And we already know we're going to lose thousands of jobs. And he's jumping into NATO. There's already talks about him jumping into NATO. This guy's a joke, and people voted against their own interests. And that's what happens in America when you vote on feelings instead of facts, and when you have a media that is manipulating you. These are all dummies. Do not be fooled. Those that criticized us for being Trump supporters are really the idiots in all of this. And they're seeing it firsthand just alone with who Biden is putting in positions of power. No progressives, his people. He lied to the progressives to win the nomination. He had them help get votes. People voted out of anger. People voted out of fear. Remember one thing. Donald Trump made history. What Donald Trump's done has never been done. Biden will try to take credit for the vaccine. We all know the truth. The vaccine came out under President Trump's watch. We know he created Operation Warp Speed. He made history. He did a movement that has never been done before. He completely changed the Republican Party and made it the party of the working class. And we will keep fighting to make America great. I believe Joe Biden's going to put us 5 steps back and is going to put us in a worse situation. But this almost needs to happen so we, the people that voted for Donald Trump, can look back and be like, we were on the right side of history. You decided to vote for an empty suit. You got that exact empty suit. Those liberals that voted because they thought Donald Trump was a racist, they just let the most racist man in politics right now into the White House. That man can care less about black people, African Americans. He doesn't care. He hung out with the most racist senators there was in this in this country, and he's definitely, in my eyes, an illegitimate president. He will be my president, but I will always look at Joe Biden like the president that robbed the election. That's it. Bottom line. Unity, I don't want it. I don't want unity now. They didn't give us unity. They gave us 4 years of hell under Donald Trump. Criticism, calling us names, calling us everything in the book, and calling us stupid, calling us deplorables, calling us, and they still do it. I mean, it's ridiculous. They still do it. They still don't understand the Trump movement, and they never will. And it was not even a Trump movement. It was an America First movement. For the first time in many of our lives, we felt that there was a president that was fighting for us. And we've never felt that before. That's what Donald Trump gave us. An American that was fighting for America. And the liberals, they just tore that apart. Because that's what they do. They destroy everything. They destroy everything, and they only care about themselves. They only care about special interests. And they have beautiful plans that never come into fruition. They have beautiful plans that put people in bad financial situations because they want everything free. They want to tax the hell out of Americans. And this is the end result. It's a sad day. I'm not going to lie to you, but I feel that the fact that they took that step to begin the transition process is almost a sign as if Donald Trump is at that point of possibly conceding. Every avenue they've taken to fight in court, they've lost. I don't know what Sidney Powell has in mind. So, I mean, that being said, putting all those factors into perspective, I mean, I'm going, maybe Trump surprises us. Maybe I just don't want people to get hopeful because I feel that not as many people are being supportive to my fellow Trump supporters, my fellow Americans. And I know you guys took a big loss because I feel it. I feel the same loss. I mean, we loved Donald Trump. It wasn't as if we looked at him like just a president. We looked at him as our leader, as a person that we loved a lot, that did a lot for this country and cared about us. We saw the caring on that he had for us. We saw him fighting day in, day out against the Democrats, against Adam Schiff. And the sad part is none of these guys will ever be held accountable. Hillary Clinton will get away with all the crimes she's committed her entire career. The same goes for Joe Biden. You think they're going to look into Hunter Biden's laptop anymore? That's out the window. Republicans never really had Donald Trump's back. He was fighting by himself. There's a few congressmen, maybe a few senators, but all of them were utilizing Donald Trump. They got what they wanted out of him. 3 Supreme Court justices, a bunch of conservative judges everywhere. He put America on the map, and he put the Republicans on the map. He created a base, and they need him. The bottom line is that they need him, and they got scared of going against him. It's not because they liked him. It's not because they want to go back to the old-fashioned way of doing things. Keep America in the dark, do what we want with their taxpayer dollars, and that's it. And that's what Joe Biden's going to offer them. And like I've said before, you know what's going to change for Black Americans? Nothing. You know what's going to change for Hispanics? Nothing. You know what's going to change for the poor class? Nothing. You know what's going to change for everyone else? More taxes, more poverty, less police protecting the streets. Yeah, that's their agenda. And then meanwhile, Hunter Biden, all these crooked cabinet members that he's put into play, all of them are going to fill their pockets up with money on the taxpayers' dime, because that's what they do. That's what these politicians do. They're a bunch of crooks, and they don't have a spine. They don't have a spine. Where were the Republicans? Where were the Republicans when the mega rally was going on? And when I talk about Republicans, I'm talking about senators and congressmen. Nobody went out there to stand with the American people. Only the American people stood by the president. And that's why Donald Trump will always go down in the history books as one of the greatest presidents of our time. And history will remember him. When Biden will be a stain, and all Barack Obama can be is the first African American president. Aside from that, 0 accomplishments. All these people, Nancy Pelosi, Jerry Nadler, they're all going to be stains in history. Chuck Schumer, stains. Just stains. That's it. And hell, to be remembered as the first black president, it's not really an accomplishment. It's not like he did anything. Maybe if he would have been the president who created equal opportunity or created created the middle peace deal, that would have been something as an accomplishment. But to have to for your biggest accomplishment to be race related is sad. That's sad. He did nothing for the black community. He didn't help the black community. Whereas Donald Trump actually helped the black community, did prison reform, historical funding for historical black colleges, opportunity zones, lowest unemployment rate for black African Americans and Hispanics and everybody across the board. Just don't forget that. I just wanted to send this out to you guys because I know a lot of you are going to be pretty depressed. I'm trying to be as realistic as humanly possible. The likelihood of Donald Trump being president is looking very slim. Extremely slim. I would tell you 99% chance that Joe Biden will be president. But again, always know in your heart that you were on the right side of history and that no one can tell you we're on the wrong side of history. And now we get to be on the offensive side, which is awesome. We get to criticize now Joe Biden. And there's going to be plenty to criticize. Don't worry. Let them get what they deserve. Higher taxes, all those celebrities that were all so engaged with them, when they start paying tax dollars and they start seeing how expensive Joe Biden is costing them, how much wealth they're losing because of Joe Biden. Let's see what happens. You're going to see the economy crash. You're going to see horrible movements that are just going to move us backwards from where Trump took us. And you will see China become a global powerhouse. Pentagon's already reported they have a stronger Navy than we do. And we know what the Democrats do. They defund not just the police now. They defund the army. They've always defunded the army and the military. So, again, let them get what they deserve, my fellow Americans. Stay positive, focus on your lives, enjoy Thanksgiving. You have a lot of things to be thankful for. For one, the fact that you're listening to me right now means that you are alive, which means you should be grateful that you have lived to see another day. And then just be grateful for your family, your health, your family's health, and just live your life and just wait for 2022 to revote out, to take back the House, and then in 2 years after that, take back our presidency. Don't know if Donald Trump will be running, but I hope he is. Guys, enjoy, be safe, and spend as much quality time with your loved ones during Thanksgiving, because you may never see them again. God bless you, God bless your families, and God bless this beautiful country we call America.
Hi, it's Judge Jeanine. I want to thank you for listening to the Republican Nation podcast. It's an important podcast to listen to because the Republican Nation is all about the Constitution, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, and all of those rights that are important to all of us. We've got to make sure that America doesn't lose any of those rights and that we stay true to our founding fathers' intent. So thanks again for listening to the Republican Nation.
We will make America great again.